welcome again. So now let me tell you about this event. This is one of the, as I said, one of the really fun things we do annually. Is a chance to go back and revisit outstanding people and events and teams and some of the great history of this school. And so it's all in a celebration. One of the things that we started not too long ago was as we have had the individuals inducted, that we just discussed the idea. We've had so many outstanding teams. We've won a lot of championships. We've had some teams who maybe didn't win the championship, but overcame some incredible odds and had outstanding, in their own way. They accomplished so much. So with that we decided to use this occasion as an opportunity to recognize different teams through the course of our history, and we will try to do that. A couple teams each year at the bank. This all started first with the Pine Bowl team. That was with our first team football that we recognized, and since then we have recognized one of Coach Jackman's women's basketball team, the baseball teams of '65 and '81. Probably the second and third best teams that have played here. We recognized last year the women's volleyball team of James Mumford, and who had that incredible tournament run. And I don't remember the year, but it was an amazing tournament that they had. And so as we look at the history of Wingate sports, there's going to be those moments, those teams that it's just going to resonate with us and say, we need to bring them back and to relive that moment or to applaud them one more time. So the first of these teams we want to recognize tonight would be the women's tennis teams of 1995 and 96, coached by our dear friend Lynn Moss. So I asked Lynn and the who's here, Lori and Marcy? Yep. And Brooke, okay, if you guys would all come forward, and so I'm going to let them have just a few moments to share some thoughts on that season and be back.
Thank you, Coach Nash. It is a great privilege to be able to be here back at Wingate University and to see some old friends and to reconnect with some people I haven't seen in a long time. And most especially to renew some of the friendships and the connections that are made here that are really unmatched in terms of how people stay connected to each other as part of this family. And just talking with folks this morning has been just a treat to be able to get reconnected to people. I asked Marcy and Lori if they would like to say a few words, and they both went, no. We're fine. You go ahead. You go ahead. You still no. Okay. They still said that. I was looking through this because David Sherwood sent me the stats on the team, and I said, that tells a story. It tells a great story about a great season. In '95, with 4 seniors, we had a great season. What these stats don't tell you is that Wingate athletes are student athletes. And it doesn't tell the story of the number of times they brought their books with them on the van to study, the number of times that they played sick or injured because they were determined to do something for the team. Those are the stories that are not told when you look at your stats. It doesn't tell the story of the 95 season, which was a great season for us when we beat our nemesis for the first time. We beat Presbyterian College for the first time. We had beaten them in my tenure here. And then how we went through the season and we went all the way to the regionals. Regionals were here. Now get this, figure out how well you would do. Regional tournament was the day after graduation at Wingate. Okay, and 4 of my 6 players in the top 6 were graduating. So they graduated on Saturday, and had to play a match on Sunday. And we lost that by the narrowest of margins and missed a chance to go to the national tournament that year. Then we had 4 that graduated and got in a few great players for the year of '96, and that actually was the year that we ended up going all the way to the national tournament. But part of it was the drive, the determination, the fun, the relationships, the lessons that they taught me about tenacity and about never giving up. These tennis players were wonderful. They played in so many conditions, and they just they were wonderful. You sure you don't have anything to say yet? Okay. And, you know, just the fun stories, you know, of driving a conversion van to Florida with the tennis players to go play in some matches down there, and not realizing that the 7-foot beam meant that the conversion van would not go under that. And, you know, getting into all kinds of trouble, went through that, and, you know, getting in the van one day and having a tennis player look at me and say, "Hey, coach, you're twice our age." And I went, "Oh, I am twice their age." Terrible. Or days that we'd be listening to songs on the radio in the band, and they would say, "Coach, are you really sure you want to listen to that song?" I said, "Oh, it's got such a great beat." And they're like, "Have you ever listened to the words?" And I said, "I can't hear the words." And they said, "You probably don't want to listen to that." So they had to train me during our time together. All of those trips on 15-passenger vans, I just thank the good Lord for safety, because there were lots and lots of trips that we made, and it was with God's protection that we were able to make it there and back and have such great memories to share. So thank you, Coach Nash. I think that my stars here are going to remain.
We don't want to delay.
They don't want to delay the morning.
Okay, well, hold 1 second and let Mr. Poston. And now I've asked Steve Poston, our Director of Athletics, if he would present memento to the members that are here, and we'll get those to the others. Well, we did hear from some of the other great young ladies off that team that they've got a lot of adventures going on this weekend. So Steve, if you'll turn around with your little no photo. You get your photo. Get your photo face on.
Good. It's the only chance I get to have a photo made.
All right.
Good.
Very good. Thanks. Congratulations. Welcome back. I may not have the same kind of stories to tell about the '95 baseball team, but there are some similar things, because that was a great era of sports at Wingate. As you see, those fine tennis teams during '95, '96. Coach Hamill had outstanding soccer teams, and the best of all during that era was the baseball team. Certainly feel like I'd like for the '95 baseball team to come forward, please. You can tell I met some of these guys by, again, there's a great number of them coming back, and you can look at their numbers too in the program. That see the just outstanding year they had in '95, and they had, of course, led up to that with a great season in '94 and finished up in '96. And so I'm not going to have the same problem here about no one wants to say anything. As a matter of fact, we had to tell a couple, no, you can't, not today. And so the ones that won the lottery will be stepping forward in a moment. Now, last night we went to Sheffield's house, and he and Weber's, they're wonderful families, invited us over for a get-together. We had a great time. About 10 o'clock, Weber asked me, he said, "Coach, what time is it?" I said, "It's 10. He said, "How far drive do you have?" And I said, "Well, it's about an hour." And so he didn't say he didn't follow up with that until 10:30. Then he tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Maybe it's time you start home." So Mr. Weber still will do this, and so he's kind of the in-charge guy, and so he is the one that's kind of arranging our list of speakers. So I will start off, Matt, if you'll bring your Darren Hayes.
Oh, what? A man of many words. When you start thinking about this team, only thing I could really come up with, I could spend hours talking about stats, the numbers they show you see on your programs, but this team was a bunch of competitors. We hated to lose so much that when we split up inter-squad, the winner of that game ended up being a little quarrel. The catch And did he catch her? Did he not?
He did.
But
He did.
and see, and it's still raw for several of us on the wrong team, that is. But you know, there's just a group of outstanding standouts on this team, and we had our standouts, but we also had people that would come up in the middle of, you know, we'd be in the middle of a week, had to have a big win, and not the standouts would come out. It would be somebody out of the blue. One instance I remember specifically, and then I'll pass the mic, is I remember Garland. We were at Catawba in a tournament, and we had to have a big hit to win. Garland comes up, you know, Garland hit several home runs, but not a lot. But that one was probably the biggest hit of Wingate's career, I would say, because that elevated us to the next level and got us into the regionals again, which I wish to this day, we talked last night, that we'd have never went back and changed clothes. Ask us later, and we'd go into more depth. But I'm going to pass the mic to Mr. Sheffield and let him have a bit.
Here brings back some of your memories on you guys. Thank you for all the time. Hey, Clay. The only thing I can say about the team is, like Darren said, we're all competitors, and right now, if you put us up against the #1 team in the nation, we would think that we could beat them. And we probably would try to find a way to do it. That's it. These guys are a good group of guys. Thank you guys here at Wingate, faculty, staff, everything, for all your help. Thanks.
I'd like to personally thank Coach Christopher, Coach Nash, and Coach Pate for kind of assembling this team. This was a special team, and Coach Nash didn't exactly inherit a bunch of yes men. He inherited a bunch of egos and a bunch of personalities that we still tell stories about to this day. So thanks for your support, guidance, and great mentorship. But what I remember most about this team is just the bond and the friendships that we still have today. You got all these stats, statistics, they're great, but it's about us, the family, and staying in touch to this day. So we thank you, and we're looking forward to
more of these. And you know, Coach Hamill always would get so aggravated at the sports banquet and say you talk forever because you feel like you need to say something about everybody, and I really did, because again, we had, as they've said, we had complimentary players, we had guys that put up great numbers. We had middle of the week pitchers who did a great job, and those guys on the weekend. We got All-Americans out of this. We've had 3 or 4 guys that went on professionally. They graduated, and they did well. And if you look at them, you look at these beautiful children running around this room, and that's their kids. Their kids, and I'm proud of them, and I'm happy for them. And it was my blessing that I had a chance to coach these guys for a couple of years. So. Congratulations to them. Welcome back again. And now, Mr. Poston, you are where? We have a gift for you fellas. I want to hear from Garland. You say that. You say that. Garland, it's good to have you.
The only thing that I was going to say was about this team, how we pushed each other and what we did. As far as academically, what happened, which is very tough. All student athletes that play sports in college understand how difficult it is with schedules and traveling and keeping up with everything. We all in the 95 graduating class finished on time and graduated on time in 4 years. Nobody had to take any summer school classes or you know, on to the next semester. So, and that was directly due to work ethic from Coach Christopher, Beverly pushing us, Coach Nash and his wife. So thank you very much.
How you want to do it? Listen, I'll tell you what, organizing this crowd with 2 rows, it's going to take a while. Yeah, so we'll get the picture after this. Come on, let's go. They've behaved already far exceeding my expectations. So those are our teams of distinction for the 2009 Hall. Now we move into the part of our program where we will be recognizing those individuals that have met the criteria, which again should be included in the program, of how we determine or make our selections for the Sports Hall of Fame. And these are easy decisions and they're hard decisions. Easy decisions because they all warranted. Hard decisions because there have been a lot of other outstanding athletes down through the years, junior college years, senior college years, that are also under consideration and are part of the discussion each year. So as we make this, as we have these discussions, and you do see the members of the selection committee that are on the back of the program, and it's really an enjoyable time. But again, it does, you know, it's a little bit, we have to make a call. And so these were the 4 that we have selected for this year. Now, before we get into their induction, I would like to recognize our Hall of Fame members that are with us today. And so if they could stand or raise their hand or make a noise when I call your name. All right. Coach Ron Christopher. Coach Christopher is at the back. Jim Morris, here at the front. Jim Morris. Jerry Thomas. Jerry through baseball and basketball. Coach Johnny Jackman. Back at the same coach. And basketball. Man, a few words. Darren Hayes. Mr. Charles Ray Williams. Basketball, baseball, I think golf, whatever else we had at that time. Danny Lampley, baseball. Jim Smokey Gordon, football. Jeff Weisner from baseball. And Mr. Bill Walters from golf. Now, I hope that I did not miss anyone. Okay, so no one's raising their hand, or so we did. It's always great to have you folks back as part of this ceremony, and also at any time that we open the doors around here that in the hall, you're welcome back, and we like to show you off too. All right, so I think I've taken care of all the housekeeping business that I need to. So now we will move into the introductions. Now, we've tried something a little new this year by developing a video presentation of the introduction. As luck would have it, the technology didn't work quite as well as we had hoped, but we've gone to Plan B. And so we're going to see if Plan B works, because I think you'll enjoy it, and I do believe too that the inductees will enjoy this very much, as this will be a gift that we will give them of this introduction.
Could he play this day and age? Yes. He's probably one of the best. I had the opportunity to play with him in high school, against him in high school, and with him in college. And I felt like Andre was a great athlete. A 6'1" guy, could jump out the gym. Could he play this day and age? Yes. Yes, most definitely. He was a great athlete. Now, but more than that, he was a great teammate. He was, his faith was, his hard working ethics were great. And so yes, and he's a great friend. And I would think he could definitely play this day and age. Now the question is, could I play this day and age? No. But Andre, no doubt in my mind, he can still play. As far as on a personal note, again, as far as a friend, I couldn't have asked for a better friend. I chose to come to Wingate. I had a couple opportunities, but one was I had an opportunity to play against Andre in high school. And then to come to Wingate, and he took me around on my visit, and he was such a great guy. And you couldn't have found a better person. But I think his faith, you know, being in college and dealing with all what we deal with in college, and being at Wingate, being a Christian school, the fact that his faith, and even now today, is one reason why I was the one to put Andre's name up for the Hall of Fame. Do I think he, you know, again, I played with him for 3 years. Do I think that, did I have a lot of great teammates? Yes. As far as having a better friend and a person now, even now, we're still best of friends. I went through this tragedy with his son, and he also with tragedy with his health as well. But just our friendship has really grown strong, and his faith is just unbelievable. And that kind of keeps me grounded on a personal note. But as far as they could not have picked a better person for the Hall of Fame at Wingate University.
A lot of good things to remember about Andre McLeod, better known as Dre. But back when I was coaching, there was a statement by one of the major college coaches as far as basketball that it's not how big you are, it's how big you play. And this is the way it was with Andre. 6'1.5" maybe, played it probably at least 6'7". A tremendous leaper and timing of the ball, great rebounder for us, and point scorer too. He could do it all. But Dre was such a likable person and very, very quiet as far as being around people, taking the instruction, always listening, but never having any rejection or vocal, any kind of dissentment or anything on the floor. Tremendous person, and just honored to be a part of this thing for Dre being in the Hall of Fame. Now, one more thing I'd like to point out here is, at my age now particularly, that having a person like Andre McLeod come through your program and get to know him the way we did and so forth, it makes me just really proud to look back in my life and say that I was had the honor to be a coach because of people like Dre.
Following Andre's remarks, Dr. McGee will present him with his plaque to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you. Thank you. I thank the committee for accepting me and bringing me in. I got just a little speech here. I guess I got 10 minutes. I got 5 minutes, 4 minutes. I stand before you today humbled by this event of today. As a part of a school of Beaufort County located along the eastern coast of this great state, I traced my beginnings from the Morning Star Road community in the village of Pantego. It was there among the various farmland living in a lovely household and among an extended family and under the spiritual eye of the Macedonian Church. I was introduced to the athletics. This vehicle has helped me to this moment, to this hour. Throughout elementary school, like most players, I had a technique. Once I entered high school, I soon discovered that my technique wasn't as good as it was. But I wanted to win. I wanted to play basketball and win over the competitive schools, especially long-standing off-rival school located just 3 miles down the road from us. And ironic, there was the name was the Bellhaven Bulldogs. Under the watchful eye of my coach, my teammate and I was a force to be reckoned with, and when we went on to be a part of the first state championship team for the high school. As in life, all things must come to an end. So as far as my high school career ended, I played my last basketball game, and my high school coach expressed his concerns for my future. We had several conversations, and one weekend he told me and one of my teammates and I that he was going to take us somewhere. He didn't tell us where though. All I remember was that it was a long, long ride. and especially if he don't go driving number 55. He ain't go not one mile over 55. We finally arrived at Wingate Junior College, because when I came it was a junior college. It was the first 4-year school to graduate from here. And for a tour and the rest of the school, the same goes in history. My teammate ended up at another school, and I became a Wingate Bulldog, a decision that I never I have never regretted. While at Wingate, I continue to excel in athletics, and for a long time it seems as if we're going to take to make a choice between athletics and academic, but it never came to that point. Close but somehow my study skills improved and I became more focused academic. In 1982, I received a degree in human services and met my future wife right there. No, she was that. And to Wingate, I will always be grateful for those two things. Since graduating from Wingate, the guiding force of my life has been to all that I could be, all to what role I was placed. And I did not go on to play professional basketball, but those principles of good sportsmanship, teamwork, commitment, and dedication have helped me to overcome the challenges I have encountered. My knees have given out, and I tell you I can still play, but I can't. I can't play. And my knees have given out, and I had dealt with personal health issues. I had a brain tumor and a stroke and all, a little bit of everything. And with the loss of a child, Mike, he was my special child. I got my daughter, right here. There she is. Yeah, and she's my special child too. And at a very young age, but still, I will not take anything from my journey. To my family, my mother and father, my wife, my sister, my extended family, my former teachers, and others who have provided words of encouragement, I thank God for placing you in my life, for sharing this honor with me. To my daughter, who will be receiving her degree from Elizabeth City State University in May, I want this to remind you that if I could walk from Morning Star Road in Pantigga to the Hall of Fame at Wingate University, there is nothing that you can't do if you will put forth your best effort. That's for you. And to the members of the selection committee, I thank you. There are others who are equal or if more deserving, but you chose me. And a long-legged lad from Morning Star Road, this honor will always be special. Though my other knees have failed, my vision and hearing failed, the memory of this honor will remain. To get from Morning Star Road to this moment, a walk that has spanned 30 plus years, indeed is humbling. I thank you and I thank God.
I remember the first time I met Angela at the awards banquet at Spring Sports Festival. We were both freshmen, and I got freshman of the year, and I was standing down there and they called out freshman of the year for the softball, and she got it and she came down and I said congratulations, and she wouldn't even speak to me then. But from then on we started dating our junior year, and my parents would come up to every game, my grandparents, and they would come over here and watch her more than just as much as watching me play. And I'm proud of her for her accomplishment, and it's well deserved. A funny story I'll tell you, we first started dating, we were juniors, and we were at the place called The Pit. A lot of you newcomers may not know what The Pit is, but everybody my age or older knows what The Pit was. We were down there, and it was a Saturday night, we were at a party, and I'd pitched that day, and I had a complete game, good game, and I was proud to get on there and talk to her. And she said, "How'd you do today?" I said, "Well, I did good. I pitched 9 innings and struck out 15 or something." And she said, well, that's good. And I said, how'd you do? She said, well, I pitched both games today. I said, oh, really? She said, yeah. She said, who you play tomorrow? I said, Catawba. Play Catawba again. She said, are you pitching the first game or the second game tomorrow? I said, neither one. She's pitching both the next day. So she always gives me a hard time about recovery.
So it was very much an honor and a privilege to coach Angela. She's one of those players that I think every coach thanks God for every day, because you know when she was on the mound, we knew as a team, as a program, that she would give us a chance to win. Very special, very talented, very humble young woman at the time, and just a joy to be around. Angela was a player whose demeanor showed that she wasn't very competitive. But when she got into her motion, or when she stepped in the box to hit, it was on. But she would, previous to those things, very slouched shoulders. Her trademark walking up to the plate was she would just kind of drag it behind her, like she didn't really have any idea what she was capable of. And then she would step in the box and rip a double, or she would throw that rise ball that jumped, up to the batter's eyes. So her demeanor didn't show the competitive nature that she was. She had a catcher, Carrie Porter, who was a very tall, aggressive, kind of controlling, great catcher. And Angela was the only one that could typically control Carrie Porter. It was like the mom grabbing the daughter by the ear and kind of pulling her along. And to Carrie's credit, she did a great job with Angela. Angela, I call her Princess or Dozen, because that was her number. But she controlled Carrie Porter much better than I. And now it's pretty special, because those are the two young women from our program who are now in the Hall of Fame. So it's kind of a special relationship to look back and see how they work together so well.
I would first like to thank the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for inducting me into the Hall of Fame. It's an honor to be a part of this select group. And thanks to Danny and Savannah and JD for being here. And to my dad, thanks for hauling me to practice around the state and around the country sometimes. And I think he might have even lost a job or two in the process of hauling me around. Thanks to my in-laws, Cheryl, Wilson, and Brenda, for being here. And I'd first like to thank Scott B. He first gave me the chance to play here. But most of all, I'd like to thank Coach Cadigan. We weren't sure about her when she first got here, because we had Coach Thurston, who was the basketball coach. He was our coach for the fall, and he had us running sprints and running all around Wingate, and we weren't really a track and field team. We didn't really like to run, so we were kind of glad to have Coach Cadigan come, but we weren't sure what to think. And I remember going to her office for the first time, and I introduced myself, and I said, well, I pitch, I'm number 12, and I said, and I don't slide and I don't hit. And she said, well, you do now. So since that day, she continued to make good changes to make us a better program all around, and she continues to make this program great. And I enjoyed playing for her, and I think Savannah's going to enjoy playing for her too when she gets here. And to my teammates, I enjoyed playing with every one of them, and they put up with a lot, because I used to have to arrive at the game 2 hours early to warm up. So they put up with a lot, and thank you for everyone who helped put this brunch together, but don't eat too much, because Danny has a ton of food for the football game. So make sure you save some room.
Kurt, sorry I could not attend this year's Wingate Hall of Fame induction for you. Very sorry about that. However, I'm very excited and happy for you. You are the first soccer player to be inducted to Wingate's Hall of Fame. A big congrats for that. Even though it's been over 40 years since you played soccer for Wingate, I can still vouch that you were one of the main reasons for Wingate soccer success the 4 years I was coaching there. You were always the ultimate
unselfish team player, always came early, stayed late, and is unbelievably competitive in practice and in matches. You are obviously greatly respected by your teammates, having been selected captain both of the 69 and 70 team, and you went on to Emory University, where not only you continued success by being the MVP there at Emory University in Atlanta, but also the team captain. You proved to be not only one of the best soccer players in junior college, the region, but also the nation. I can still remember how fast you were, particularly moving the ball down the field. Even though you were not the biggest guy, you never showed any fear, and you had obviously excellent with your feet, and had one of the great head shots in soccer for a guy your size. You also had some excellent teammates in Bill Cedarberg, Frank Ward, John Hoover, Gray Dillard, just to remember a few. If you remember, Gray Dillard from Alabama had a boa constrictor in his dorm, lost it. We looked for it for about 2 or 3 months, and they gave up. It may still be in the dorm. If you remember back in 69 and 70 when you came to Wingate Junior College at that time, now Wingate University, long hair was in style. And one of my main worries with you was with your flopping hair going back and forth, how could you see the ball to play? I was obviously wrong. You actually led the team in scoring and assists both years. Again, congrats. Sorry I can't be there. We thank you for all you did for Wingate soccer, wishing you and your family the best.
I'd like to take the opportunity to congratulate Kurt into your induction into the Wingate Sports Hall of Fame. Our entire soccer program, congratulate you. We're really pleased for you. Obviously, guys like you 40 years ago led the way for what we have today. As you can see behind us, we've got a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of numbers, and obviously a very good program. You know, I met Kurt last year when he showed up for our Legends weekend and still had life and enthusiasm for Wingate and for the soccer team, and I think it's just a tremendous accomplishment for him and the guys of that era when it was a junior college. You know, obviously we've had a lot of success since then, and it's players like him that have built the program to where it is today.
Good morning. It is such a pleasure to be here today and to receive this prestigious honor. I must say, however, that I would not be here today without the love and support of so many people. In a letter written in 1777, Samuel Adams wrote, "Give credit to whom credit is due," and that is what I'd like to do today. I have to say, a little that I've done in my life could not have accomplished without the love and guidance I received from my dad, Clarence Calvert. Cleet, as he was known to his friends, was a strong man who played soccer until shortly before his death in 1998 at the age of 83 years old. I'd like to read a short piece from a newspaper article written about him. Soccer is often declared to be the most popular spectator sport in the world, and spectating is about all you would expect Clarence Cleet Calvert, who is on the downside of 72, to be doing in the autumn of life. But such is not the case, for Calvert not only plays forward for 2 soccer teams at Mike Boston's Soccer Academy, but he also competes in the more rigorous indoor version of the game. I think Cleet's tremendous, says Boston. Anyone who plays indoor soccer at that age has to be a real soccer nut, since indoors is such more physical. Calvert can be found at the Academy twice, often 3 times a week, competing and against players less than half his age. He is a member of the men's division press gang and a co-ed team, the Mean Machine. Calvert's league team includes players over 30, and his teammates are in their 30s, leaving him all alone with a special senior citizen status with no special discount privileges on physical play. I get no special treatment, says the ex-Army Staff Sergeant and World War II combat veteran. I think sometimes they're afraid they might hurt me, but they don't ease up on me. I wouldn't want it any other way. Dad served proudly in the Army and was stationed outside of Liverpool, England and he and his fellow troops practiced alongside their general, George S. Patton, for the D-Day invasion in 1945. His unit helped counter Hitler's last offensive move in the Battle of the Bulge. Dad was awarded the Bronze Star for his service in the European theater. That's where he really got interested in soccer. He played with servicemen from England, Russia, Australia, and other countries, and developed a love for soccer, which he passed on to me. He learned a lot about the European style of play with those men. Watching my 75-year-old dad move the soccer ball up and down the field, outrunning players more than half his age, always made me proud. I remember coming home from school one day, and there was a cement mixer in the backyard. When I asked my dad about it, he told me that he was going to make a basement for the house. He worked on this project every day after coming home from his job from Fort McPherson, and on weekends as well. One shovel at a time, he dug dirt, and 5 years later completed a full basement for our house. He didn't want to pay the money to have anyone else do it. This was the kind of person he was. He sacrificed in order for me to have a better life. My mom felt the same way. She hung clothes on the fence to dry rather than buy a dryer. She washed dishes by hand rather than by a dishwasher. They didn't own a color television until I bought them one when I was 21. I wouldn't be standing here today if it were not for both of them doing without to make a better life for me. And I would not have the opportunity to attend Wingate University if they had not been so dedicated to helping me. My life here at Wingate was happy and exciting, and my soccer memories are many. One of the soccer games I remember so vividly is one we played at the University of North Carolina at Asheville. My entire team was on the bus thinking we were headed for a small school in the mountains to easily kick some butt and walk away with a win. When we arrived at the field, it was covered with snow and lined off with charcoal, I believe. There were 2 orange soccer balls on the field, and we all thought this was really going to be a fun and easy game. We took the field first to warm up. A few minutes later, the opposing team came out. Much to our surprise, the players were foreign exchange students from Nigeria. I was watching them and sizing them up. They made moves I've never seen in my life, were speaking in a language I didn't understand. Those guys beat us 8-1. It could have easily been 16-1, but they took mercy on us. It was an ugly game, and the bus ride back to Wingate was very long and very quiet. Those guys put us in our place. That's just one of the memories I have my years at Wingate, and I could go on, but don't worry, I'll spare you and move on. I want to congratulate the individuals receiving awards here today. I know we all have very special memories of our times here at Wingate. I would like to thank Coach Ron Smar for his leadership, and in the words of my mom, for treating me so well. I want to express gratitude to my teammates, fellow students, teachers, cheerleaders, who all attended the games and pep rallies and helped lead us to many victories. I thank the members of the special events and services for all their hard work. I want to thank Bill Nash for considering me for the award, and the Wingate Hall of Fame Selection Committee for selecting me. When I attended the alumni soccer game last year, I brought my school annuals with me. Bill and I talked briefly, but we didn't recognize each other. I went back to my hotel room that night, looked up Bill's picture in the annuals, and recognized him immediately. We both had changed just a little since our college years. There must have been a dozen pictures of Bill. He was in every club and the president of most. If there were a Student Hall of Fame for leadership, Bill would certainly be at the top of the list. I want to thank my family for accompanying me here from Atlanta for this special occasion. I also want to thank all of you for coming and allowing me to share my story with you. And in closing, I want to thank God for allowing me to live long enough to experience this prestigious award and for the spirit He put in me to accomplish great things. As we all know, it's not what you take with you, but what you leave behind that's important. I hope the memories my family have of me are as fond as the memories I have of my 2 years at Wingate University. Thank you so much for this prestigious award, which I lovingly dedicate to my dad. This is for you, Dad.
Congratulations, Kurt. And by the way, Coach Smar is another member of our Hall of Fame, so he was here virtually.
Really, the first time I saw Jeremy, he was 12 years old. I went to Taylorsville to help with a baseball clinic for Little League. And there were two players there that just kept standing out from all of them. And one was Jeremy, and the other one, of course, was Darren Hayes. And of course, both of them have ended up in our Hall of Fame. But I kept up with them through the years and certainly recruited them both. And what a great find it was. Both of them great players. And Jeremy was a great leader. I thought he had great leadership qualities, and he proved that once he got here. But Jeremy worked so hard at practice, at his position as well as hitting, but also worked hard at understanding the game and making sure everybody was in where they were supposed to be on plays. And that's just great to have sort of a coach on the field like that. It makes coaching a lot easier for me. Well, Jeremy and I, we've kept in contact all through the years, and we email quite frequently, and he's just a great person as well as a great player. And I think that's he was good for Wingate, and Wingate was good for him. It was a mutual admiration society, so to speak. And I think Wingate did a lot for him, but by the same token, he did a lot for Wingate and the baseball club.
First, I want to congratulate Jeremy on this selection to Hall of Fame. It is, man, it's well earned, because he was just one of those really special players on a really special team. It was his leadership. It was his toughness. I mean, when you say gamer and you hear that, Byers is a guy who fits that mold. He really stood out on this club as far as his willingness, as well as his ability to stand up in tough spots. Remember an instant that he faced Heath Boss down here, and Boss is an outstanding pitcher for Catawba. And he and Jeremy had a little thing going on back from high school days, and they brought it to their college. I think they played together in high school, but they were, they had a lot of competition going on, and Heath struck out Jeremy, and it was an important ball game. Every time we played Catawba, it was an important ball game. But and it was a battle. Oh, what a battle at the plate! But then Boss throwing that heavy sinker struck Byers out, and on the way back, he let him know it. And of course, Byers, he said, yeah, okay, next time, next time. And how Jeremy did it, and that, and the next time at the plate, and of course, it was another clutch situation, even in the fifth inning in that game. And so Boss battled him, and then Byers hit a seed back up the middle. I mean, I don't know if you could have placed that any better, but he hit a seed by Boss and standing on first and just letting him have it. And this was the kind of guy, I mean, it didn't always work out that way, but he didn't back off from a challenge, and he was one of those who could back up a lot of things that he did. Great player. The last thing I'd like to say is, again, congratulating Jeremy on this honor, and thanking him for the 2 years that I had a chance to coach him, and the things he did, on the field, the leadership he provided, the numbers he put up, the clutch situations he came in. And now I'm so proud of him getting this honor, but also the kind of guy Jeremy is. I mean, he's a wonderful father. I can see it. He loves those kids. He loves his wife. Great family man. And of course, I would have expected that. He came from such a wonderful family. So congratulations, Jeremy.
found all those kind words to say. I too want to thank the committee for this honor. First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who's allowed me to be here today and who blessed me with the ability to play the game that I love so much. I would like to start by thanking Coach Ron Christopher for keeping his word. As you heard in the video, when I was 12 years old, he attended a baseball camp that I was at. And at that time, he told me that he was going to come back for me. Well, I didn't really believe it, but that's what he said. During my senior year, Coach C and Miss C came to one of my games, and, well, the rest is history. I'm truly grateful that he kept his word and took a chance on a skinny kid from, and Miss C would say mouthy, kid from Alexander County. Coach, you and Miss C have always supported me, even after I graduated. You are truly an inspiration to me, and I love you both. I'd like to thank Coach Nash and Coach Pate as well for their leadership, their guidance, and their support during my time here. You helped shape me, not only as a player, but as a person. Thank you for expecting and accepting only 100% on and off the field. The work ethic you instilled in me is something that has lasted, and is something I pride myself on in my day-to-day life. Both of you are a big part of why I'm here today. To my teammates, this honor is as much about you as it is about me. Everything we accomplished, we did together as a team, and without you, none of this would have ever been possible. Whether it was our spirited blue and gold games, or just hanging out watching Tombstone. Those are memories I'll always cherish. I would like to thank my family and my church family for the phone calls, the words of encouragement, and the prayers. Thank you for always being there for me. I want to thank my wife for putting up with me, despite of my shortcomings, and blessing our home with 3 wonderful children. My daughters, Maya and Morgan, who are my heart, and my son Dominic, who is my soul, and has every chance to be better than his old man ever was. And last but definitely not least, I want to thank my parents. Your love and support has been never ending. You have continually sacrificed that I might succeed, and for that and many other things I am forever grateful. I am here now, and I am who I am because of you, and I can never thank you enough. I love you both. Thank you.
Those of you who have to listen to me speak several times a year know that I often refer to athletics as the front porch of Wingate University. And I could not be prouder of what we present to the world through our athletic program here. Between 400 and 500 students a year participate on our varsity teams now with 17 varsity sports. The academic GPA of the athletes at Wingate is higher than that of the non-athletes. The graduation rate of the athletes at Wingate is higher than that of the non-athletes. So I think that says a great deal about lessons learned while you're participating as part of a team. Those of us who were fortunate enough to play sports coming along and reach my age, you can honestly say that never does a day go by that I don't use the lessons learned in athletics to help me be a better person, to help me be a better family member, and to help me be a better president of Wingate University. I also want to mention briefly these 2 teams of distinction. They both played while I was here, several years after I came to Wingate. What a joy it was to watch them compete. I didn't know when I was going out to watch Lynn Moss's tennis team that her number 4 player would become my daughter-in-law and the mother of my grandchildren. So that program and that team was very important to me. And what a joy it was to watch this baseball team. Most of you know I love baseball. I was able to play the game as a youngster. But this team, as much as I loved them, almost got me fired. Because they were so good, and they were ranked number 1 in the nation. And I went to the trustees and said, we've got the number 1 baseball team in the nation, and they're playing in a dump. It's just not right. We've got to spend some money on the baseball field. And the Board of Trustees said, you're right. and they gave me a budget of $300,000. And I spent $600,000. And the people who came behind you obviously got to play in a palatial ballpark. But you did almost get me fired, and I'll never forgive you for that. To the Hall of Famers, I hope this moment is not lost on you. As I said, between 400 and 500 athletes a year play here. We honored 4 people today. Think about what a small percentage of our athletes ever reach the prestigious statue of the Hall of Fame. As I said to Danny and Angela earlier, this is all we got. I mean, we put you in the Hall of Fame, that's as far as much as we can do for you. This is the highest honor we have for our athletes. And I hope this moment is as special for you and your families as it is for us. We thank you all for the way you represent us. People ask me all the time, Dr. McGee, why do you put so much emphasis on athletics at Wingate University? Well, you just heard 4 reasons why. Because these are the kind of people that are being produced by the athletic program at Wingate University. Our athletic program here has proven that you can achieve academically and you can achieve on the athletic courts and fields. There are 296 NCAA Division II teams in America. 296 colleges and universities in America play Division II sports. Wingate ranks 3rd from the top in the number of academics All-Americans produced. That says a lot about the kind of young people that are brought to our institution by athletics, and we're deeply grateful to each of you. Nobody knows more than me the sacrifices you have to make to participate on a varsity team. And certainly to achieve on the level that you all have achieved is very special. We thank you for the way you represent us in your neighborhoods and your families, and we're deeply honored to have all of you here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. McGee. Again, I hope I've thanked everyone in some way, all the folks who are responsible for bringing this together. Certainly our congratulations again to the honorees, but do want to thank David Sherwood and Hugh and Ryan Brown for their good work in making this the magic of the technology work for us, and so I think that added a lot to our event and to everyone who has contributed to this. I thank our Bulldog Club members for their support of the Hall of Fame event, and now I'd like to welcome all of you to consider going out and watching us play today. We have a football game, Carson Newman, which could arguably be the biggest football game we've had in our four-year history. So it's going to be a special day out on the old gridiron. And then this afternoon, we have another special. The other football guys at 4 o'clock, Coach Hamill's team will be playing to put themselves in position to win the regular season as they'll be facing LMU. So big day for football now that we're moved on from this. Congratulations to everyone, who was honored. Teams of distinction, Hall of Fame inductees, please come to the front after recess, and so we can go through the pictures. And also all Hall of Famers. We'd like to get a shot of all of you that are here and with the new inductees. Thanks again, everyone. Have a great day.